Good morning, guys. It's April the 8th. I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and I'm just going to run through what we're looking for in the markets for today. Okay, so Euro's once again been sideways. Very, very choppy market, sideways market at the moment. We're looking for these two parameters. We're looking down towards 113.40 and back up towards 114.30. So I'm kind of looking for a spike through either way. As I was talking about yesterday, I do prefer a move to the upside. We looked like we were going to go through yesterday. Nice. Bullish close through on the hourly chart, but then again that was an instant rejection, and that would have been a close should I have taken that. I didn't actually take it, but I certainly think that was of signs to come, but it was a good rejection there. So this market telling me that it just wants to go sideways. So it's just letting these moving averages catch up again. Again, it rejected off the 185, so I've got the 200 and the 185 in here as well. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens, but certainly a blip through 113.45, wait to see what happens, look for that rejection candle, and then potentially look to buy euro dollar back up again, because I certainly think it's top side that will break first. Especially if we bounce off support again. So it looks to me like this has just been a break before it then continues on up. Obviously we could now reject and come lower, and as we talked about before, 112.80 is the next level lower should it properly break through. So that's what I'm going to be looking for euro dollar today. Wait to see how that one plays out. Cable, very, very bullish, very, very bearish, excuse me, at the moment. So this is what I'm looking for the moment in cable. I think yesterday's close was significant, actually. I think that's a really nice bearish close. So we're just going to wait to see what happens. It didn't manage to clear the low, so we've still not continued to close below the lows. But certainly this does look very bearish now, and I will be looking for the short today in this one. So how can we get into this? Well, ideally, you'd let this fib sequence complete, and actually like the fact that this is now down here, which suggests that we could see this rally back up towards 142, which for me would be a great sell zone. So if this wants to make a new lower high before going through the lows, then that's a great sell zone up towards 142. So that's going to be my first plan. I'll sell it at 142. Other than that, I'll just be looking for a counter trend line break in this one. So if we just turn if I just turn some of this clutter off, I'll just be looking for a bit of a counter trend line break. So I think that was this an active session? Yeah. So this would be the line that I'm going to have in, guys. And as you can see, it's made a lower high through it. We have now made a higher high, but at the moment, all I'm going to wait to see is whether this can see what happens here. I think a break below this box, and certainly you get a close below sort of 140.45. This is then moving lower. So where's our next target? Well, the next target down is 140 in terms of support and resistance. The fibs are pointing down towards 140. Where are they pointing down to? Fibs are pointing down to a first target down at 139.20. So I'm going to go back and see if I've got any levels around there. 139.20. Well, yeah, there is one there already, I can see. So I'll just go back and make sure that is a level, but certainly 139.20 looks like it could be hit. Okay, so dollar yen, frustratingly, it did get to that level that we talked about. We said that it was going to get there, 107.50. It got very, very close. It got to 107.65. And then bouncing, and we have bounced significantly now. The thing for me is that if we do manage to pull back up here, I think this is still a sell in dollar yen, because I think that it hasn't quite completed. I'm not too happy with that. I think that it needs to get to 107.50 and then hold. So what I'll be looking to do today is play that sell, and I'm going to look to sell it until it gets down to 107.50, because I think that's the perfect trade for today. You've got sort of 130 odd pips to try and catch a lower high. Maybe you'd wait for rejection off this moving average. Oops. So we've got I don't know what this one is. Let's have a look. It looks like it's a little bit longer than the 50. I'll zoom in. It's trying to do all sorts here. So if we just zoom in, it looks like it's just a little bit longer than the 50. Oh, here we are, 54. Yeah, so the 54, if we manage to get a bounce off that, I may be taking an initial position, and then on that lower high, sell through the lows. I think that's probably quite a good plan in dollar yen today, so it just needs to be managed correctly. But I certainly would prefer it to complete 107.50. I think that makes a bit more sense in terms of that to be completed. Dollar CAD for me is just a bit choppy. We talked about this significantly yesterday. Myself and Andy did a talk at XTB, and we said 133 is going to be the level that this is going to get to. How is it going to get there? Well, it's still on course to get there for me. So all I'm going to wait for is, again, a nice lower high, a higher low to be made here. This looks maybe like a 15-minute head and shoulders could be forming as a potential entry, and then we're looking to go long in this. So the first target for today is back up towards 132.50 area, and then maybe a small pullback and then a break back higher again. But 133 remains the key target for this on the top side. quite a nice test of the lows yesterday, and now we're potentially going to go higher, so I do potentially like this. The only thing that's preventing me thinking this is on the day we've got this 21 moving average, which is rejected off so many times, so just be careful of that. If we manage to close through that, then I think 133 is certainly on the cards for dollar CAD. So that's a really interesting one as well. So have a look at that, the 21 moving average on the daily chart in dollar CAD. You'll see what I mean. Aussie dollar, I think that this could just be the head and shoulders finally forming. So we could have now bounced off this low. If this does rally, I think 76.50 is a good target. What happened in terms of the hourly fibs? What happened here? So let's just take these out, because these are now out. So we kind of ran down to the 127, didn't quite hit it, pull back, now we've hit it. So yeah, 76.50, let's see how that lies. Okay, that would have to take out the A, or get very close to taking out the A. But it does look bearish. Now, I think if you manage to close through this level 75, I think 73.50 is the next level down, and I think that's a really key one. So let's just see whether the fibs lead us down to 70. What did I say the level was? 73.60. So I like 73.60. Yeah, we're down towards 174. So maybe not this swing, but maybe the swing afterwards. Some volatility at the moment in the Kiwi dollar. So let's wait to see what happens in Aussie. I'd prefer to look for a rejection somewhere in that zone above sort of 75.80 area. I think 75.80 is probably quite a good sell zone. And if you manage to get that right shoulder formed on the day and go through the lows, then I think that you've got a really easy trade down in that one. Kiwi, I thought was going to be stronger yesterday than it was. I thought this was a breakout. One thing I do like is this 60-minute count. This 60-minute trend line is still in, so this one is good to play. We've broken out from this trend line, so this is a show of strength. Haven't managed to break the lows, and I think that this could, if we break through the highs, this could rally again today. So indecision day yesterday, and we could now push back up again. So I'm just going to wait. Often what happens when things go sideways, it will do two fibs, break the low, and then it will then start the uptrend. So we'll wait and see what happens in Kiwi. As I said, I'm going to be looking for this entry, maybe a higher low on a 15-minute chart. So maybe look for a close through, what's that level there? A close through 90, and I think that leads quite clearly up through the figure. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today, guys. As I said, I hope that's been useful. I hope you've had a good week trading, and I hope it's been helpful with the videos that I've provided. Click subscribe to never miss a video again, and I'll be back on Monday to talk you through the markets. Thanks very much for listening.